Israeli Prime Minister had some choice words about the United States, calling this resolution, quote, shameful, and says that it will make the peace process harder, not easier. Here to explain, David Keyes, spokesman for Prime Minister Netanyahu, joining us from Jerusalem, where it is already late Christmas night. David, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
It was Robert Frost who said betrayal is the worst word in the English language. Does that apply here? Did the Obama administration betray Israel?
I think what we're seeing is an abandonment of Israel and an abandonment of a long-standing American policy. I mean, this resolution posits that the Western Wall, one of the holiest sites to Judaism, a place where the Jewish temple was built, a place where Jews have lived and prayed for literally thousands of years, is illegally occupied territory. That's absurd, that's delusional, that's amoral, that's ahistorical. And it actually pushes peace a lot further back. So it's no surprise that Israel was deeply, deeply disappointed by this UN resolution, this Security Council resolution, and the fact that the Obama administration abstained from vetoing this resolution. It's been a long-standing policy to protect Israel at the United Nations.
The only person, David, who could have made
the only person who could have changed.
David, the only person who could have made this decision is the president himself. Our reporting from Kevin Corke, reporting of others, indicate that the president on vacation made this decision to abstain from this vote. This was not taken lightly. The question is, and it's no secret, that the prime minister and the president have had, shall we say, a frosty relationship, and clearly it has gotten even frostier now. Do you think this was personal? Was this the president of the United States taking a parting shot at the prime minister of Israel?
Well, we have rather ironclad information from sources in both the Arab world and internationally that this was a deliberate push by the United States, and in fact they helped create the resolution in the first place. And so it's deeply disappointing that this has been the path of President Obama. Of course, we're deeply grateful for the military assistance that Israel has gotten, but this resolution pushes peace further away, and it's no surprise that many, many senior Democrats and Republicans have condemned this resolution, because when you think about the actual barrier to peace, it's not the fact that there are Jews who have sovereignty in the Western Wall. It's not the fact that Jews live in Judea. It's the fact that the Palestinian Authority refuses to even recognize Israel as a Jewish state. It's because of the fact that the Palestinian leadership is paying a monthly salary to anyone who murders an Israeli. It's because the Palestinian leadership is naming soccer stadiums and streets after mass murders of Jews and Israelis.
David, I understand you don't feel like you have an honest broker to deal with on the other side when it comes to the Palestinians. Ben Rhodes, the president's deputy national security advisor, on a conference call with a number of journalists, said that really the Israelis brought this upon themselves and said, hey, look, we didn't feel like Prime Minister Netanyahu ever negotiated in good faith, continued settlement expansion, sometimes against the wishes of the United States, always against the wishes of the United States, and said, hey, this is the last thing that we had to try to make it clear that we felt the Israelis were not exactly living up to their end of the bargain. Your response?
Well, Ben Rhodes seems to be ignoring a few key factors. One is that the Prime Minister actually froze settlements just a few years ago. The fact that the Prime Minister has called literally hundreds of times to meet with President Abbas for peace, and the answer has always been no. That's a tragedy, because peace is going to come from mutual recognition. It's going to come from respecting others. It's going to come from understanding the narrative of the other. And so long as the Palestinian leadership refuses to recognize a Jewish state in any boundaries, that actually remains the barrier to peace. So it's not the fact that some Jews are living in Judea, that there are communities of people.
For folks who don't follow the peace process intimately, and for folks who, a lot of people say, hey, whatever happens to the UN doesn't really matter because they haven't done anything that consequential in a long time, what is the real negative effect? What is the real world effect on Israel that this resolution has? Why are you so worried about it?
Well, this resolution could encourage those who seek to boycott Israel, those who seek to protest Israel, the one liberal democracy in the Middle East. this actually gives a tailwind to those who are seeking to isolate Israel. Of course, there's a totally contrary trajectory taking place, and that is that many countries around the world are actually coming to Israel because of our expertise in counterterrorism, because of our expertise in technology. But the idea that Jews living in Judea is the barrier to peace. I mean, when Israel took out every single Jew living in Gaza, disinterred bodies from the ground, it didn't get peace. It got a theocratic terrorist organization calling for Israel's genocide. So it's a lot more complex than that particular issue. It's an issue. It can be solved, but it takes two to tango. And so long as Israel continues to call for peace, and the Palestinians continue to reject and rather indoctrinate their children with the idea that it's better to kill an Israeli than to live at peace with an Israeli, that is going to remain the real barrier to peace, and it's a tragedy for both peoples.
Mr. Keyes, appreciate your time, sir. Happy Hanukkah to you and yours, and appreciate you taking this Hanukkah night to be with us.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All the best.
Bye-bye.